Beauty and the Beast. When guilt wears a pretty face. Every story in this world starts the same way, with loss. A merchant loses everything. A father searches for what was taken. A daughter steps forward to pay the price. That's not a plot. That's the blueprint of the ego's thought system. The world always begins in lack and ends in sacrifice. It's the mind's way of saying something went wrong and someone has to fix it. In this story, beauty seems like the answer. She's gentle, selfless, and pure, the perfect daughter. But that's the trick. The ego loves opposites. It splits the mind into good and bad, beautiful and ugly, worthy and unworthy, and then asks you to choose a side. The father's theft of the rose is the start of the whole dream. He takes what was never his to take, the symbol of divine love. That's the moment of separation, the birth of guilt. The beast's rage isn't random, it's the projection of that guilt. The mind steals love, then fears its own reflection and calls it monster. The rose garden is infinite, but the ego says, no, you can't touch that one. The world's rules are like that. Always keeping love scarce, always making it costly. When the beast demands repayment, bring me one of your daughters. That's the ego's voice of punishment. It says, someone must pay for what you did. And beauty volunteers. She doesn't understand the illusion yet. She believes suffering can be noble. That's how guilt hides, disguised as goodness. When she arrives at the castle, the miracle begins. The castle isn't a place, it's the unconscious mind. Everything she sees there is already provided: food, warmth, abundance. But she doesn't recognize it as hers. That's what the sleeping mind does. It walks through heaven and calls it a prison. The beast is guilt wearing a body. He's kind but conditional. He gives her gifts but always adds, "Will you marry me?" That's not love. That's the ego's favorite phrase. If you do this, then you'll be worthy. Conditional love is the beast's heartbeat. It gives with one hand and takes with the other. The Holy Spirit gives with no conditions at all. It doesn't say, "Prove you're good." It says, "You never stopped being loved." Beauty's compassion toward the beast isn't romance. It's the first glimpse of forgiveness. She starts to see that what she feared is harmless. She begins to see past the form. That's how perception heals, not by fixing appearances, but by seeing through them. When she leaves and delays her return, the beast begins to fade. That's what happens when love is postponed. The light grows dim, not because it's gone, but because the mind looks away. Her return isn't a rescue. It's a realization. When she says, "I can't live without you," she's really saying, "I can't live without the part of me I disowned." The beast turns back into the prince because guilt dissolves when innocence is accepted. The curse breaks not through a kiss, but through understanding. The fairy who appears at the end is the symbol of correction, the Holy Spirit restoring vision to the mind that forgot how to see, and the jealous sisters who turn to stone. That's what happens to envy and pride when forgiveness enters. They can't move anymore because truth has no opposite. So this isn't a story about falling in love with a monster. It's a story about realizing the monster was never real. Love didn't have to be proven. It only had to be remembered. Because in truth, there was never beauty versus beast. There was only one mind dreaming both faces and waiting to wake up. Somewhere beyond the mirror and behind the mask, a merchant's daughter meets her reflection. The beast she feared becomes the innocence she forgot. And the curse she thought was punishment turns out to be mercy. For when love no longer hides behind form, the only thing left to see is beauty itself.